Hey, my name is PolishLynx and welcome to Sakura Space. Well, as mentioned already in the very end of previous episode, Nami should be in high spirits now. Understandable. I wonder where Kotori is in the midst of all of this. I mean, honestly, it's not that important. No, it is. Alright, let's check out on the other member of our crew. She's probably in her room, knowing her. Well, knowing her, she would be in the pool, but we were there already, and she wasn't there, so I guess that makes sense. I wander up to her room and knock. Kotori, are you in there? Deathly silence. Kotori! I find that the security on the door isn't active. Walking inside, I find that she's nowhere to be found. Kotori, are you hiding among all of those animals? She probably could be. There is enough of them to bury someone in. Come on, Kotori. You know better than to ignore your captain. Still no response. She must not be in here then. I can't help but take a moment to look more closely at her stuffed animals. Every single one of them is a different planet. It's from a different planet we have visited. In her own way, Kotori is collecting little members from across the cosmos. Nami's room is impressive in how pristine it is. Kotori is interesting in the sheer chaos that manifests itself in here. Right, it's not that bad. I would say there's no really real chaos around here. From what I see, at least. You can learn a lot about someone just by having a closer look at where they live. Okay. My room is rather plain compared to theirs. Mine is... well, it used to be. Now it's not so bad, I guess. A series of bunks and nothing particularly personal standing out in it. Even though I'm chasing this insanely huge bounty. I've never lived as though I am rich. I do not even know what I would do once I get all of that money. Well, technically that's nothing to really complain about. That would mean you wouldn't spend it, and yet you still would be able, because of that, basically sustain your living. I would say really there's nothing to complain about. Underneath the mount, I pull out a teddy bear. That's right. This bear was from that one planet we stayed on. I love them being so specific. It's hard to believe that you could find such a beautiful place in the universe. It was advertised as a luxury planet. I suppose that isn't particularly relevant. Kotori loved that world. She didn't want to leave it at all. Crystal clear lakes. Several multicolored moons which sailed through the night sky. Every day was like a pleasant summer's day. Now you freaking made me want to go there. It's amazing to believe that terramorphing technology is capable of altering a planet to such an incredible degree. But alas, I'm not sticking to the task at hand. I still need to find Kotori. Wait. I do not want to make myself funny, but maybe Kotori has already been attacked by Akane? How plausible would that be? It's plausible. It isn't plausible. Alright, I think it isn't, to be honest. I mean, no matter how you look at it. We've told the AI to go full no, code red basically, right? So it observes everything. I don't think it's possible to be avoiding it that easily. I mean, if the captain was able to notice her before, I think the systems would be able to do that as well. I mean, I believe in that at least. Hopefully that's how it is. It isn't plausible in my book. Not that's jumping to conclusions. It has been really quiet around here. If Anka and Sam managed to get inside of her quarters and attack one of us already, this would be putting her on the same level as a ghost, and Kotri would have raised the alarm right away. I know the Kotri is no pushover, so this just doesn't make sense. So far I think I have a firm grasp on my enemy's capabilities, and I know these quarters better than anyone else on this ship. So no, it's not plausible. The probability of it is happening is incredibly unlikely, so I shall just put it aside for now. Kotri could just be having a swim at this hour. You were just at the swimming pool basically. I mean, in the previous episode, but it basically just happened for you like a second ago. You would notice, she does not have a lot to do at the moment, so she will be trying her best to stay active. It's then that I hear noise coming from the simulation room. Simulation scenario over. Perfect score. Alright! Kotri bounds out of the room happily and pumps her fists in the air. Finally did it! She sees me standing there. Oh, Captain! Wasn't she banned from that room? Came to see me, did you? Just checking up on you, Kotri. I thought that you weren't allowed in the simulation room after the last incident. Well, we are currently on high alert, and swing didn't really help put me at ease. So I thought a good old-fashioned dungeon crawl would help. Please don't tell me that you burned out the simulation room again. No. It was that one dungeon that we spent heaps of time. Do you remember that one? The overgrown undergrowth dungeon? Please don't remind me of those days. But I had so much fun in the dungeon. I didn't. Okay, I want to know the details. How exactly do you get a perfect story and explanation of that dungeon by yourself? Well, I decided I have to start taking things more seriously. Is Akane character? Sounds like she's going to be bad news no matter what way you look at it. So I want to be ready. And to run with these two daggers. She flashes them in the air. Okay, I still don't see them. Did you see that? See what? Exactly! Well, I still don't see them daggers, so I guess that's impressive. Kotri laughs at her own bad joke. I can't help but smile too. Playing along with her ridiculous jokes is fun. You really do get me, Captain. That's why it's important that we beat Akane. I like the way things are around here, and we don't need someone like her ruining it for us. Don't you think? Exactly. It's good to know that you're in good health, Kotri. Just try not to burn out the simulation room. I'll try not to. Before I can turn to leave, she puts her hand on my shoulder. Can I come with you for a minute, Captain? Permission granted. Kotri seems to be thinking about something. I've been looking into this cult following we apparently have. And it's silly. How did none of us here know about it in the first place? Well, I do with my digital parties play online games. You and Tammy wouldn't bother looking up anything like this either. It's more or less true. I tend to avoid any pop culture news like the plug. Understandable. I'll either look up information on politics. Not understandable. This means I have fans! How exciting is that? Imagine there's probably an entire galaxy worth of people out there following our adventures! That's cool, don't you think? It is cool, I suppose. But, oh... Well, the entire galaxy definitely doesn't follow me, unfortunately. Anyway, doesn't that warrant some scrutiny? Is it possible that this cult following we have could interfere with our current bounty? Let me think. We should keep a low profile. I suppose it's nice. Alright, let's face it, we should low profile here. I don't like it, to be honest. Why is it that, Captain? It is Akane somehow knows everything there is to know about us. All of this information is just out there, ready for her to access at any given moment. While we are still aiming to complete this bounty, we should keep as low profile as we can. She wouldn't even have to monitor us herself if there are tons of people out there watching our adventures. That's a good point.
Then again, if she didn't have access to all of this information, she would not have turned up on our doorstep. So there's a silver lining to all of this.
I do not know if that is worth sacrificing the element of surprise. She has the advantage right now, no matter what way you look at it.
Either way, I'll make sure that you're safe, Captain. You can trust me to get the job done every time.
I'm most certain that I can, but I do not wish to be a burden. Perhaps I should go practice my skills in the simulation room too.
It always pays to practice, Captain. If you don't, then that amazing personal virus will slither away. And we wouldn't want that. After all, you are so delicate with your fingers.
Okay. What she just said. It's impossible to not have some things on your mind. They always touch all of the right professionalism, Kotori. Let's not forget professionalism.
Fine, but you'll give in one day. The professionalism of yours cannot keep me away forever.
So carefree, this girl. If only I could live my life as she does.
Above all else, I'll protect everything here. Even if it meant laying down my life, I'll protect the pride of our company. It's my sworn duty.
Well, the pride of company is not that important. The life of the people from the team is. There is no need to be so dramatic. Akane isn't out to kill us.
Even so, I do not want to lose to the likes of her. And I won't. None of us will.
She pulls out her daggers and shows them to me. We finally see them, damn it. And some other things.
See those two blades, Captain?
Yeah. That's not the only things that we can count in. Number two. Yeah.
I've repaired them, looked after them, and then used them ever since we've all been together. I will these two blades for you, Captain. There's no one else in this universe that I would will them for.
She flares them through the air, streaks of golden light illuminating the area around her.
While I have these, there's nothing I won't be able to beat. I'm sure of it.
When Kotori gets fired up, you can't help but feel energized too. I honestly don't feel energized. It's 3 AM. Let's not go that far, okay?
So don't you worry about the thing, Captain. So you can believe in me. I kinda won't know what's about to hit her.
She happened towards the blades around in her hands.
As sure as the sun rises from the horizon on Earth, I'll capture her and earn us the 1 billion Imperial dollars.
I do have faith in you, Kotori. I do. No matter what happens from here, I'm glad Kotori will be by my side for the whole thing. Despite her personality quirks, she is one of the most reliable people I have ever met. When she says that she's going to do something, she does it. And she does it to the best of her ability. Seeing her standing there in front of that glass window, the cosmos her backdrop, it creates an almost surreal image in my head. She does look rather stunning in a bodysuit as well. I can't let but my imagination start running off by itself.
Captain! Hello! You're spacing off.
Pardon me?
As I was saying, there is no way that the whip of all things could beat these daggers. All it would take is a silk cut and she would be unharmed.
At the same time, you shouldn't underestimate her. We somehow managed to snare your arms with her whip.
Don't worry about it. I'm prepared, Captain. That's why I was training. What was my score again?
Kotori achieved the perfect score in the simulation.
She's more ready for combat than ever. See? Now just don't worry.
Remember that overconfidence can very easily be your downfall. Your opponent isn't going to be easy to defeat like a simulation. Long after that, we continue to talk. Kotori eventually heads back to her room, leaving me to go elsewhere. Now that I've had a moment to relax, I can focus on the task at hand. It's important to give breaks to remain at peak performance. If you leave a machine on for too long, it eventually burns itself out. People aren't so different. It's been silent despite us being on high alert. As we discussed, she must be taking her time. We don't know where she's hiding, so she can wait until we are vulnerable. I see someone walking down the hallway. Captain? Nami. After what only happened about an hour ago, both of us have gone back to being professional. Okay, that word is being overused. I think that was just what Nami needed to focus too. Have you seen anything unusual? Not at all. It has been very quiet around here. She looks around her. It's been too quiet, you know. I do not think I have ever heard a mouse moving around on board. It doesn't feel right, I agree. No, it puts me off, you know. What does exactly? The idea that she could be watching us this entire time. Well, it's possible that she's watching us at least. She might have been watching an hour ago. But I understand you. Nami is someone who takes her privacy quite seriously. Now that I think about it, the fact that we have a cult following is also strange. I suppose this, but you know how it works. We're living in a massive galaxy with a lot of bored people in it. So the idea of people following our shenanigans, it isn't that far-fetched. We do lead an unusual life after all. I don't like it either way. I know, but we can't do anything about it right now. We don't know when Akan is going to strike. She must be confident she can trade blows with us if she revealed herself. That is exactly what I thought at the time. Also, all of those drones she sent you. How do you suppose she got those on such short notice? They were a newer model too, one which was only recently imported onto the ship for sale. They must have all belonged to her, she stole them. Technically, what if she's the one that was delivering them? They must have all belonged to her? I think that she must have owned all of them. She has enough money to purchase that many boats for her own personal use? Well, they must have been purchased for the world. You said yourself that this model was only recently imported, made ready for sale. Someone buying such a large quantity of these drones with her phones would not have gone unnoticed. Neither would she have been able to steal this many on such short notice, not to mention reprogram them. So she had to have brought them with her when she arrived here. Yeah, I think that you're onto something, Captain. We're beginning to form a profile for now. She must be someone with status or wealth. In addition to her training. I nod in agreement. That forms a fascinating profile, doesn't it? It does. This bounty is turning out to be interesting. A drop of water falls from the ceiling, interrupting our train of thought. Hey? Think there must be a hole in the pipe system somewhere. Suspicious. I guess we'll have to get someone to. I should have as I look more closely at the water drop. It doesn't look like water at all, but some vividly colored blue gel. It's sticky, and has a strange consistency. What on earth could it be? To my surprise, the drop on my finger begins to move ever so slightly. It's a freaking slime. At first I think my eyes are playing tricks on me, but no matter how many times I blink, it's still moving. Captain, is something wrong? Nami, do not move. I think there is something in the pipes. What do you mean by something? Just hold still. I move my hand slowly, ever so slowly, towards the small puddle of blue gel that has accumulated on the floor. When I tap it with my finger... Oh. Should I be worried? It starts to move. My reflexes kick in and I quickly pull away. I mean, my hand away. What the hell? A flood of blue gel drops from the opening above me. Captain, get out of the way! Whoa. Okay, it's not slime, but still. Nami shows me just in time for the blue gel to ensnare her. within and entrapping the blue gel quickly envelopes her legs and chest. I want to do that. I want to be that blue gel. It quivers and vibrates as sticky tendrils begins to prevent Nami from moving. More and more drips from the ceiling, piling on top of her. It settles on her chest, squeezing and touching her.
I want to be that freaking gel! What is this thing doing?
The gel appears to be massaging her.
Get it off of me!
The O seems to be coating her all over. Once it's forcefully below her body, it begins to vibrate slowly. Small quivers and movements are visible through the gel's surface. Nami tries to scrape it off herself, but it's useless. Every time she pushes it away, it just makes its way back. 2 strands of gel pin her arms to the ground, preventing her from resisting.
It's touching me all over!
I move towards her with my hands out, hoping that I can succeed where she failed.
No, don't touch it! You'll just be dragged into too!
A small gasp escapes her lips as the slime clamps down her, hard around her chest. I can't help but notice how it is creeping in with her fix too. The entirety of its mass is caressing, touching and massaging her all over. Soon her face turns bright red and I can hear her breathing become heavy.
What is this thing? Why is it doing this?
Just hold still, I have an idea.
Okay. This is so embarrassing, so hurry up!
I pull my pistol from my belt. Pistol configuration, EMP. All living things have some form of electrical current moving through their body. There's no possibilities with this gel. It's either a living thing or it is some sort of nanotechnology. Either way, the EMP should at least get you to let go. It probably won't deliver enough of a punch to destroy it.
Close your eyes, Nami.
She's pounding heavily due to the gel's movements, but she complies. I squeeze down the trigger and the EMP wave erupts from its barrel. The gel stops moving for a moment.
Did it work?
Don't move. I keep an eye on the gel. It begins to condense itself on top of Nami's chest. Then it erupts, showering an entire hole with its goo. Sticky globs of gel slide lively down the walls of the hallway. Whoa. Are you alright, Nami?
I'm fine.
She gets back up on her feet slowly. She wipes some of the goo off her suit.
I remember where I've seen this gel before. It's a brand of master gel from another galaxy.
Say what? Master gel? I have not heard of such thing before.
I'm surprised that you haven't. It's a very popular item for relieving stress.
Oh. Especially some variants of it. This is obviously an attack by Akane. She must have trapped some of this gel in the piping above us. A completely non-lethal yet completely humiliating attack.
Tame her.
Don't get angry. Akane is attempting to throw us off. Even if our reputation takes a blow, it doesn't matter if we pull this job off.
Well, technically no one will know about that. It's apparent that I have not been taking her seriously enough. For now, let's get something to repair this leak.
Nami's eyes wander over to a nearby ventilation shaft.
Do you think she might have used the vents to get in here?
Possibly. Its company policy not to obscure or place any objects in the vent stem, so we couldn't place any security countermeasures there. We'll have to talk about this somewhere else. That probably isn't the only camera that's watching us.
Agreed. She attacked you with massage gel? If only were there to be attacked. Massage gel is expensive. You should have been heavenly. How come Nami is the lucky one of all the time?
I can't believe that she's pouting over this, of all things. Now, isn't a good time for jokes, Cory? She was obviously aiming to tarnish our reputation. If word got out that we were taken by surprise by massage gel of all things, it would be a devastating blow. Her methods of attacks are ridiculous and wouldn't be able to injure a fly. And yet, it's still somehow menacing. We don't know where we're going to be hit from next. And in what way?
We're presuming for the time being that she's going to try and throw us off with similar attacks like this. Nothing lethal, but traps which will make us seem weak, useless, or helpless. With that in mind, it does not mean that our lives are at risk, and we can take on new identities if worst come to worst. However, that scenario is one that I would personally desire to avoid.
Does it mean abandoning everything we have built up here and ultimately that we lost to Akane? Nami seems a bit annoyed by the whole ordeal. She gains a certain kind of focus once something has made her angry.
It will not happen! I will not let that happen! The stakes are high, but we've gotten through wars together! I know exactly what we can do!
You might not know it at a glance, but Kotori is sharp. You said before.
If there was a hole in the roof and one of the pipes, that means she was somehow able to access without going through the front door. You mentioned the ventilation shaft before, but I don't think that was it.
Wait a second. I think I know what you're thinking. Basically, she has her own area where she lives on this ship, right? So if it was a pipe, then she might have done some kind of opening in that pipe, right? And somehow before that, she's done the same thing in our area. So we send massage gel from us, and hopefully it lands in her quarters, and have our revenge. Is that what you're thinking, Kotori?
What do you propose was then? Well, keep in mind that there are cameras in the main halls right now, and our AI has not reported any unusual activity. The AI in our quarters is custom, which means it cannot be modified by outside interference. Unless she somehow got into the AI core.
Okay, I can smell it. It's 3 AM and my neighbor's smoking cigarettes right now. Sucks. I think I will need to close the window. Anyway, unless she somehow got into the AI car and modified the program settings manually, there was no way she could pass by those cameras. Even if she damaged them or the feed was cut off from the AI, it would issue an alert. Wasn't the holding camera blind spot too? Yeah, it was. So the placing of it was very deliberate. She must have known we would stop there somehow. It was just a simple trap. Okay, the first option doesn't make really any sense in my opinion. I would say she might have worked on basically a project of that ship, but okay, it was just a simple trap. The gel only reacted when I touched it. She must have primed it as some sort of trap.
Now that you pointed out, Master Shell uses nanotechnology. It can be programmed with commands. So she must have set it up to react to being touched by organic matter. I swear, Captain, what would we do without you?
Well, technically, the gel wouldn't be activated. Anyway,
you're so smart.
Okay, you are trying to get into her pants. But honestly, Kotori can't win with Nami. She can't. She just can't. There is no need for flattery, Kotori.
Come on, you know it to be true.
In addition, she knew the layout of our quarters somehow. I tell you, she was definitely one of the workers on the ship. Like, you know, she worked on basically building it, or she just is the creator of whole area, or basically she has access to blueprints of it. Anywho, how else would she have drilled it somewhere where people would walk by?
So she had to have access the maintenance shafts to drill through the roof. In addition, she has to have some knowledge of the ship's ins and outs. There are a number of access points to the shafts throughout the ship, but only a few which would enable her to access our quarters. So with this attack, she has helped us find her. Keep in mind that anyone working for the company approved engineers accessing the maintenance shaft is also a gross violation of company policy. If we can work out what shaft she is using to access our quarters and time her act at the right moment, we'll be able to catch her in the act. Bam! $1 billion.
Kotori takes a deep breath.
Sorry, I don't have bad habit of talking too much.
Yeah. No, your reasoning is completely sound. Although she's often carefree, Kotori has good theory of mind. She often makes fine observations when people least expect her to. Ouch. So, now that we know that she's sneaking around the ship through the maintenance shafts, she probably knows that too. But you cannot access the maintenance shafts without proper authorization. She might be that engineer you mentioned. She mentioned. So the question is, how did she manage to get in there? The only people who would hold the passcode for accessing those shafts would be the ship's engineers, and they are carefully guarded. So she either managed to coax one of the engineers in the sector into telling her the code, or she skipped that part and managed to convince the engineer to let her come and go. It's time to do some investigating. Kotori, where is the closest maintenance shaft to our quarters? Shiki pulls out the digital pad and begins scanning through it. It should be in the shopping district. She seems excited now.
It was so boring waiting around for her to make a move, you know? Now we can really take the fight to her. I'm going to get ready.
Remember to be discreet about it. If we go out there flailing our weapons around, then it's going to attract attention.
Okay.
Kotori takes off. By the way, Nami, thank you for protecting me from that massage.
And thank you for getting it off me. I'm surprised that 10 MP blast was so effective against it.
I was surprised too. Anyway, we'd better catch up with Kotori. She'll leave us behind if we remain idle for too long. Well, we'll catch up in the next episode, I guess. Alright, I need to catch some sleep. And we shall continue Sakura Space tomorrow. So for now, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.